Howard, you've been working in content and document management technologies for a number of years now, more, I dare say, than you care to admit to. Workflow now seems to be taking centre stage, however. What do you think is causing that?
It's a very good question, and we are certainly seeing a big take-up now of workflow products like Easys. And I think there's a twofold reason for that. People are realising that in order to get their processes nailed down, and can I use the phrase ducks in a row, then what they need to do is be able to have a solution that captures all the business documents around particularly the finance process, so that they can answer supplier queries, they can answer credit management queries as well much more quickly. And once they've got that process effectively in place, they also want to collaborate with those documents with some of their colleagues in the rest of the business. So for example, finance talking to the sales force, and the sales force then talking to the delivery side of the organisation. So the workflow piece is centre place to that communication, shall we say, and that effective communication. And once you've got that down pat, of course you can turn the handle on that business process much more quickly with something like workflow that automates that process to deliver effective results. But there is also another thing. We've seen that traditionally workflow has had a high take-up in the accounts department, but we're also seeing it now migrate into things like HR functions. For example, people in engaging new staff and also letting staff go. It means that there are some stated steps, standard steps, and even legislative processes that need to be taken on board. So for example, a leaver departs an organisation, you want to make sure that you get all the company assets back, and you want to deal with that in a controlled and humane process, and that means making sure that you have all your interview documentation lined up. But also when you're joining an organisation, of course, I guess a lot of people that we've talked to have had the frustration of not having their laptop on time, not having their desktop on time, not having their mobile phone when they need it. Now all of those are usually a process within the business that can be quite simply simulated and delivered via a workflow solution to take some of the guesswork out of that and really put the ducks in a row in the HR department as well.
Okay, and how well can the technology address the mobile worker though, the home worker, or simply managers who are off-site without access to PCs or laptops?
Another very good question, and again it plays very well to the Easy Solution Suite, which is entirely web-enabled in terms of the workflow process, and it goes even further than sort of home workers and workers in the office being able to collaborate with a web-based tool like Easy Documents, for example, purely and simply because they need to be able to have visibility of all the information in order to do their day-to-day work, no matter where they are in the country, in the world, or in the office. And there's one step that goes even further than that, because we've recognised now that people are accessing information via handheld and mobile devices and mobile telephones particularly, and this is why we've taken a strategic decision to partner with O2 as a leading provider of communication services, because we believe that our capability of delivering a workflow on a mobile device such as an iPhone is a very, very strong concept as younger people come into organisations, get familiar with this technology and are able to collaborate much more effectively on the move. And think about this as well in terms of managers being able to access their information wherever that might be, in customer interactions or in supplier interactions across the whole business gamut.